If you guys are lacking coins for all the new cards that are coming out right now, then check out U7Buy with the link down below. They're the cheapest place for coins, FIFA points accounts, and much more. And don't forget to use code KURT for 5% off. What's up guys, Curtis here and welcome to a brand new FIFA 17 video. Today we have something that I think will be quite a bit different, but not only that, we are somewhere quite a bit different. Now I know the wall's the same colour, the penguin and the Christmas tree are still here, but we're actually in a different room. I've moved like my house around. I'm basically in what was my living room. I don't know why I did it, but we've got our desks in here now. It's quite a bit different. I've kept a little sofa there just in case I need it. I'm not right there, but hopefully the video's okay and the sound is all good. That's the plan. But it should mean we should have like better lighting, better stuff like that. Video should be better in general. So today we have a flipping cool video for you guys. So today's video is going to be a squad builder of players that could change nation throughout FIFA 17. Now, this took me so long to do the research for. Like, the amount I had to do, I cannot even begin to like explain to you. At one point, like to try and get extra players, I went onto Football Manager, simulated 5 years down the line, looked to see if any players noticeably had changed nation, and then did some research on if that could actually happen in real life. If you guys do hit, let's say 1,500 likes by the weekend, then maybe I'll get another similar video like this about nation changes up again soon. But without any further ado, let's get stuck into it. We're going to talk quickly about the bench ones. These ones are a little bit less relevant, but they're still on here. So first up we have Jordan Graham. This guy actually represented the Republic of Ireland under 15s and 17s, I believe. Definitely like really younger ages, so he's eligible for Republic of Ireland. He did play for England's under 19s, which is why he has an English card, but I can't really see him making it into, I mean, he's got 5-star weak foot and 4-star skill moves. He's actually a really good looking card, but I can't see him making it into the England squad ever, so it's more likely that he will actually play for the Republic of Ireland. So it's possible that this year he could switch back. These ones are a little bit less possible. That's why they're on the bench. This guy, Vuka, he actually has Croatian and Austrian citizenship, and he's starting to get a lot more game time now. He's playing quite a bit. Still never played for Austria, so it's possible. There's some links on like news articles of him possibly playing for Croatia, so it's one that could happen. Mehdi Benedine is eligible for Algeria. I can't see him getting any game time for France, and again, there's been talks from the Algerian youth setups that he might be playing for the Algerian under 21s. These ones, like I said, are very, very loose ones. They're not that possible. Suat Serdar is actually born of Turkish descent. Like a lot of people on here, like under the German nationality on this game, a lot have changed, like Omar Toprak, Yunus Mali, I believe 2 of them. There's quite a few, and a lot more this year as well that changed from German to Turkish nationality because they're eligible for both. But in this case, this guy was born in Germany, but there's a lot of links saying that he's going to be playing for the Turkish youth setups again. He's only, what, 19? So it's very, very possible. And last but most certainly not least on the bench, these ones, like I said, all kind of pipe dream ones. Georges Kevin and Kudu is eligible to play for Cameroon. If it doesn't go as well for him, it's a big possibility he might be switching over to Cameroonian. But those 5 on the bench were just kind of like, they were okay ones. They weren't as good. These ones are when it flipping starts to get like, actually these guys could possibly change this year, and some definitely should change this year. So first up, we have Bulut. I'm definitely saying his name wrong. It's Una. It's a name that I'm not really going to be good at. It's a Turkish descent name. This guy actually has already played for the Turkish under 19s and under 21s recently. More recently, he's played for Germany. He played for Germany's under 17s, but he's played for Turkey's under 19s and under 21s, and should already be a Turkish card on this game. I don't know why he's not. A lot of people don't know, but he will be sooner rather than later. So he should have a Turkish flag on his card right there. We'll make for some different links. People like Çalhanoğlu, strong links would be very interesting. But next up is Dominic Iorfa. If you guys have played career mode or Football Manager, you probably know of this guy quite a lot. He's a good little wonder kid on the game usually, and bit of an interesting one. Through his parents, he is eligible to play for Nigeria. He's currently playing for the England under 21s, but his father has said by the time it reaches his 23rd birthday, if he has not been in talks of a call up to England, he will consider playing for Nigeria. So if there's no talks about him playing for Nigeria by the end of this FIFA, for him playing for England by the end of this FIFA, it's a good possibility he could end up being called up to Nigerian national duty, and it'll be interesting to see what his card will be like. I like having him as an English card to get a lot of different links with him, but would be interesting to mix it up a little bit. Next up is one that I'm going to actually load up his Wikipedia so I can get all of like the facts right on this one. But before I do, there's a couple like little bits about it. So what you're going to see in a second, I'll drag it over to this window. Basically, he's eligible to play for Russia. He's finally got his Russian citizenship, and this is something you guys like might find quite interesting over the next like couple of years. So obviously, Russia are hosting World Cup 2018, and they have been, let's say, not great for the last like 8 years of international football, maybe 6 years, have not been good in recent years. And there's been a lot of talks, especially from Putin. They've brought in new rules to the league where you have to have a certain amount of Russian players, all this sort of thing. But he's also talking about all the loopholes they can go through to get players to play for them. So of course there are some players that, a lot of nationalities like England, we won't get players that we can get on a technicality. Like there are some players, I can't remember, there was one last year that was like a really good player. I can't remember, it might have even been something to do with Januzaj, I can't remember. But there was someone that we refused to call them up because they weren't properly English. Whereas right now, Russia, if they're like, look, if your great granddad came to Russia on holiday, you can play for it. That's basically what they're doing. So Mario Fernandes, he was born in Brazil. So this is what it says under his international career. He made his international debut for Brazil in a 4-0 friendly. Now, if you're playing a friendly, that doesn't mean you're tied down to that nation. But after acquiring Russian citizenship in early 2016, he was called up to the Russian national football team for the friendly games against Turkey and Ghana on August 31st and September 6th of this year. But he hasn't actually lived in the country for 5 years yet, so until April, he doesn't have full eligibility to play for the Russian national team. But in April, he will be playing for the side. They called him up in error. As of April, he will be a Russian national, able to play for them in FIFA. And watch out for the Russian ones throughout the rest of this episode. But yes, by the end of the game, he should have a Russian flag on his card. Next up is another really, really interesting one. So, Aymeric Laporte is one of just 2 players ever that are French to have played for Atletico Bilbao. Bit of an interest in Athletic Bilbao, sorry. Of course, Athletic Bilbao are known for the fact they only allow Basque players to play for the club. So, it's very unusual for someone that isn't Spanish to play for their side, and even ones that have come from the particular region of Spain. But Laporte, I believe he gets in, I'm not sure if it's Laporte or Laporte. I don't know, it's French, Spanish, who knows. But he got in through, I believe it's his granddad or his great-granddad, that's how he was eligible to play for Athletic Bilbao. But there's a few interesting different caveats to that about why he might change nation. So even though he was born in France, he represented France for under 17s, under 18s, under 19s, and under 21s, but is yet to actually represent France in a full game. But in August 2016, at the request of the manager, the new Spanish manager, Laporte began the process of making himself actually eligible to play for Spain. However, a month later, he was called up to the senior France squad for 2018 World Cup qualifiers. It was against Bulgaria and Holland. I just had to make sure, but he didn't play in either match, and it's still there's still talks that he's trying to make himself available to be called up for the Spanish national side. If they do, flipping heck, that defence is going to be crazy. It'd be like, oh, it'd be so good for Spain. But it's 50-50 who he's going to go for. Like I said, they've tried to get him to be available for Spain, but he may also still go back to playing for France. But anyway, next up on our list is going to be this guy. He's a left back, but I think he plays as a right back in honesty. I think EA may have his position a little bit wrong. I might be wrong there though. But this guy, Jeremy Toljan, I don't know how you say it, I'm not going to lie to you. He's right-footed as well, so it's a little bit bizarre that he is a left-back. But this guy is actually eligible to play for both the United States and Croatia. He hasn't played for the German national side as of yet. He's played, I believe, under 19s, under 21s. And so this is where it's interesting. He played at the Olympic Games for Germany, but that doesn't count as a senior FIFA recognised competition, so he's not locked into playing for Germany. He refused an approach by the USA to play at the Olympic Games because he wanted to play for Germany at the Olympics, but there are talks that he may still go and play for the USA for the senior men's USMNT, you know what I'm trying to say. But so as it stands, he's still down as German, but I think now that he's got the Olympics out of the way, the USMNT may make a call up for Jeremy Toljan. Don't know how you say it. Anyway, next up is one. There was a lot of people like this. I tried to limit it down a little bit, but this guy is Albanian and he's now should be Kosovan. I believe you do call them Kosovan, right? He's from Kosovo. Anyway, whatever I'm talking about, he made his debut on the 6th of October for Kosovo, so should not be down as Albanian anymore. He played a proper FIFA recognised game. He shouldn't be down as Albanian on this game. He has played some games for Albania before the switch happened, but that was the case with a lot of players. A lot of the players that are going to go and play for Kosovo have played for Albania before. Now this is one that, quite frankly, again, should have already been changed. This guy, Khaled Neri, some of these names I'm really bad at. I like to pride myself in being somewhat decent at names compared to a lot of FIFA YouTubers, but I'm butchering quite a few today. But this guy, he was born to Togolese parents, and actually, when did he make his debut? He's already played for Togo. He was called up to the Togo national side on October 2016. So the guy should not be down as German, he should be down as Togolese. I did not know you called them Togolese for some reason. I should have known that. Why didn't I know that? Anyway, he's played for Togo. Now, I'm actually going to save that right mid for a little bit later because I think it's quite an interesting one. So we're going to go for this guy, Adam Unas. I'm not sure how you say his name, but this guy is down as French. He originally played for the under-20 French side, but in October 16, he switched his allegiance to Algeria. He played for the Algerian national side in a World Cup qualifier against Nigeria in October 2016, so just a couple months ago. So this guy should have his card changed to French. I believe Benzia has his, Yassine Benzia, he is down as Algerian, right? Yeah, he is. So they would actually get a strong link together. Not that it's that relevant, but they would get a strong link together because he has now played for the Algerian national side. Next up is one that this guy is brilliant. He's another one of the Kosovo link sort of things, but this one I thought was fantastic. So this guy has played 20 times for Norway before, so he's had 20 national appearances for Norway. You'd think you're quite committed to them, but no. As soon as Kosovo came available, of course, he's made the switch. I believe he's now played 6 games for Kosovo, but my favourite part out of all of this, where was he born? Sweden. Plays 20 games for Norway, 6 games for Kosovo, born in Sweden. Did he give Sweden a 4, or I don't know, maybe he just doesn't like Sweden. Who knows? But we're going to go back to another one of the ones kind of related to the Mario Fernandez one. This is a very similar one, and this is Jairzinho. This guy, he is August 2016. He got his Russian citizenship. That's all it took, really. He's been playing in Russia for 5 years. Now they're giving him a citizenship, and he has never played for Brazil, not in any level. He's got it's Krasnodar, right? Yeah, he's got the Krasnodar Player of the Year in, I think, 14-15. He's a good little player. He's good. He's popular in Russia. That's all it took. He's got his Russian citizenship. I'm sure by the World Cup 2018, he would have played a game, and he'll be in the mix with Russia. One of many that we're going to see over the next few years going to Russia. I think it's going to start to get interesting on FIFA. The amount of players that in the Russian league are suddenly just going to become Russian, and we're going to be able to get a ton of strong links, because this guy, João Natalon Ramos dos Santos, most certainly is not Russian. But last but most certainly not least is probably one of the more interesting ones of this episode, one of the higher profile ones, and that is Wilfried Zaha. I'm sure you have seen this guy as of late. He's playing fantastically. I believe he has 7 assists in 7 games and a bunch of goals too. He's playing fantastically. Basically, Zaha, the Ivory Coast, sent an application to the FA to switch his international allegiance to the Ivory Coast. So Zaha has actually played 2 games for England. I know one of them was in a friendly, and I'm pretty sure the other one was too. So although he's basically like announced he's going to be playing for England, I think it's still possible, since he's not played in a competitive game, that they may be able to get him out. So like I said, the Ivorian National FA have sent the application to FIFA to try and get him out of England and to be able to play for the Ivory Coast. But because of his form as of late, Gareth Southgate has actually publicly come out and tried to convince him to stay as an English player. It's interesting because he's not really going to become a top player in that side, in my opinion. I can't see him ever being like a guaranteed starter for the English national team, but he might get like 10-15 caps, maybe some as a substitute. Do you do that, or do you go to play in the Ivory Coast to play with some great players, to play in some cool competitions? Who knows what he's going to do. But boys, that brings us to the end of this episode. If there are any players that you know down below that should have their nations changed on this FIFA throughout this year, I would love to know, because I spent a lot of time trying to find these. If you guys have more, I would absolutely love to see what they are. Like I said, smash the like button if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new around here. Have a fantastic day, guys, and I will see you all next time. Peace.